Welcome to final round MPO coverage of the 4th Fraction Run Cup here at the Canyons at Delwood Park. This is Mr. Glista bringing you the action with Pat Richard in the lead at 9 under par, Christopher Meyer at 7 under par, and Ryan Mulder and Ed Knapsick both at 6 down, rounding out the lead card. Yesterday was pretty rough, a lot of rain, a little chilly. Today's conditions are looking a lot better, so hopefully these guys can finish strong. Pat Richard on the box first, with the hot score yesterday. And that's exactly where you want to drive this hole. Next up, Christopher Meyer. Catching an early tree, but he should have a pretty open up shot from there. Ed Knapsick, 3rd on the tee. Gets this one up high, catches a tree, and he's going to be a little short of the pin. And finally, 14-year-old phenom Ryan Mulder. I think it's safe to say you'll be seeing a lot more of this kid very soon. He launches this one wide. Slow turn, pans over, and that's a great shot. Chris lines up his approach. And about as good as it gets there. Ed with a smooth upshot as well. He's going to like that. And Pat's drive actually landed him all the way at the bottom of this hill. It was a great line, just came in a little strong. But that'll leave him an easy putt for par. Ryan going for the birdie. And that is the danger on this green. Very easy to trickle down the hill. Leaves himself a little work coming back up, but he's a very confident putter. No fear, saves his bogey. Christopher in for par. Pat's gonna follow suit here. As does Ed to clean it up. So we've got 3 pars and a bogey to lead it off. Rough break for Ryan going down that hill. Moving on to hole 14, 291 feet, par 3. The guys are really going to look to get birdies here. It's a straight mid-range toss for most of them. We'll see if they can't capitalize. Pat's drive lands nicely. And Christopher with a fortunate tree kick. 2 for 2 on those Right to left tree kicks for him. Ed gets this, I believe, a little higher, a little more hyzer than he wanted, as it leaks out left. And Ryan, with his trusty buzz, has a nice fly by the hole. He's gonna like that result. Ed from downtown gives it a great little run there. Ryan for birdie. Oh, just short, hits the cage. Christopher for his 2. Little wide. And Pat for the last chance at a birdie. And this basket was just cursed. For a sub 300 foot par 3, I know these guys were banking on birdies, but to walk away with an easy par, not so bad, no harm done. So no change to the scores there. We'll be on hole 15 next. 260 feet, par 3. Very downhill throw, and you've got a couple options to attack this one. Pat takes the straighter route, but this disc does not want to fade. Stays in bounds though. Christopher showing us the other wider route. Nice fade and skip. Gets down to the bucket. Ed follows suit, but can't quite make it there. Ryan waves it over, but that one does not want to get stable to the basket. As you can see, that hill makes these long putts really difficult, especially if you're short of it. Pat coming back up the hill a bit. Can't get it to stick. Here's Ryan for birdie. Wide right. Christopher closest to pin with his drive. Oh, but can't capitalize on it. Ryan with a great long par save. And I know Ed wishes he can have that one back, but still gets the comeback. Chris saves his par. And we will get 3 pars and a bogey on that one. As we head to hole 16, 330 feet. It's a par 3, and you're basically throwing off a cliff. Forehand is a popular choice for the right-handed players, as you kind of want to gently land it along this canyon wall here. And that's a great shot from Pat. He's about 5 to 10 feet away. Christopher going with the backhand. And that's looking great as well. Very nice shot. Ryan lines up the forehand. Crazy skip hits the tree, and these guys are making this hole look a lot easier than it is. Ed with a wide forehand, and they have surrounded this hole. Christopher's birdie putt connects. Ryan for 2. He's in as well. Ed with a short range birdie. Schlitter is happy for him.
I stole your $5, Schlitter. Yeah, you do.
Hope you got that money, Dan. And I just noticed while doing commentary that Christopher's score got marked as a 3 on the official scorecard, even though that was birdies all around, but he's gonna have to take the 3. That's the way it was recorded. As we move on to hole 17 at Dellwood. And this is just a throw as far as you can hole at 468 feet. Pat gets off the tee with a great drive there. And Ryan absolutely crushes this thing. I mean, that had 500 feet of power. And Ed's drive, at least the tail end of it, is going to trickle out of bounds on the left side there. As you can see, the white flag. And Christopher gets this down a little lower than he wanted, but still straight, no harm done. He's got a great upshot game, so no worries as he leaves that close for a par. Or actually a birdie, because this is a par 4. And Ed taking his drop from OB there, switches discs for the upshot. And a good choice it was, as he leaves that close to tap in for par. Pat for eagle, leaves it close. Ryan for eagle 2 after that smashed drive. And I can't believe how easy he made that look. I mean, it takes a perfect roller for most people. Incredible. Chris is in for 3. Ed is in for 4 after the OB stroke. And Pat takes his easy birdie 3 as well. Ryan with the first ever eagle that I've filmed. Congratulations, that was ridiculous. Moving on to hole 18. We've got a 295-foot shot right under the bridge here. Very scenic. But you've really got to thread it through these trees. It's a narrow shot. As Ryan does perfectly here with his buzz. He says, go in. And it was pretty close. Pat next.
Get lucky. Thank you.
Wants it to get lucky, and that's about as lucky as you can get starting that far left. Leaves himself just outside the circle. Christopher gets this a little higher than he wanted, I believe, as it fades out. And despite the turbulence, Ed manages to punch through. There is an OB creek in the middle, so good thing he... Oh. And almost gets his birdie regardless. Great bid. Christopher with a safe layup. And Pat snags an incredible birdie from way outside. Ryan with an easy 2 after a beautiful drive. Christopher and Ed will finish up. Two birdies, 2 pars on that hole. As we head into hole 2, this is the long pin. We're actually throwing from the path quite a ways up. I'd say it's like a 25-foot maybe elevation change. Very touchy shot going this far downhill. Ryan goes to his trusty buzz and throws a laser. 5 to 10 feet, great shot. Pat stays a little wide right. He's over on the one long tee pad. And Chris's ends up a little short. I think he got the nose down on that one.
It's down there.
Ed's fades out. Oh, as Christopher gives it a good run from outside. Ed leaves it close. Pat from downtown, he's over there behind the tree. Not quite, but a good bid from there. And Ryan with an excellent tee shot gets that birdie. Good save for Christopher, as well as Ed and Pat to take their pars. And a lone birdie for Ryan there gets him within 2 strokes of the lead. As we move on to hole 3, a long uphill drive, 450 feet par 4, but it plays like 500 feet of power at least to get all the way to the basket from this long tee.
Good.
Which Ryan can do, but doesn't quite get that one turned over.
That actually is probably the better.
Still safe, and honestly, you just want to land in bounds on this hole. As Pat barely manages to there.
There you go, Chris.
Christopher rips this one up the middle.
Thank you.
No danger.
There you go.
And Ed will do the same. Pat going with a forehand. Leaves himself nice and close. As Ed weaves it through the trees for an excellent upshot. Ryan lobs it up there as well. Oh. And I missed Chris's upshot, but left himself nice and close. Got his birdie 3 there. As does Pat. And Ryan. Ed takes his par 4 as we move on to the last hole of the front 9. 3 birdies and a par there. Still a 2-stroke gap between the lead and second place as we move into a very tricky hole with 4 at Delwood. Way downhill. And there's a creek that runs just behind the basket and to the right. Ryan's forehand stays wide. but it's very safe. Pat attacks it with the backhand, but it flexes out, and he's in no trouble there. Christopher's doesn't quite turn, but he'll still be safe up on the hill to the left. And Ed puts this on a beautiful line,
Get it. Go in the hole. I
headed
don't know what I
right
wanted
for
to
the
do.
basket.
That's it. That's it. Oh my
And
God.
unfortunately, we don't get to see it finish, but check out that result.
I don't know what I wanted.
Unbelievable for this hole. I mean, you give me 50 tries, I might do that once.
Yeah. Perfect shot.
Chris, once again, fantastic touch. Leaves it within 5 feet. Ryan's going to try to leave this close as well. And close enough. Pat gives it a half bid. He's not going to risk that lead. Leaves it close. And Ryan sails it, unfortunately, into the water. From out of bounds, bounces off the basket and goes back out of bounds. He was not happy about that pair of strokes. But that shows how great of a player he is to come back and still make that putt. Chris is in for par 3. As is Pat. And Ed, with that amazing tee shot, snags the lone birdie. One of, I'm sure, very, very few on this hole. And that's how the front 9 shapes up. Par, an unfortunate quadruple bogey for Ryan there after the double OB, and Ed with a beautiful birdie. If you enjoyed that coverage and would like to support me on future disc golf videos, the best 3 things you can do are: number 1, subscribe to this channel for updates; number 2, follow me on Instagram at Mystaglista; and number 3, check out my music on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, or whatever your favorite streaming service is. Thanks for watching, and I'll be bringing you the back 9 soon.